Hi, good morning, my dear students. Today we will continue our chapter How, When, and Where. So, my dear students, earlier I have shared two videos or three videos with you, and in which I have shared how importance are that, and I have explained these paragraphs with you, and which dates are important, and who was the first Governor General of India. The first Governor General of India was Warren Hastings, and he became the Governor General of India in 1773. Okay, and he was the and later on the post of Governor General was changed into Viceroys, and who was the last Viceroy of India? Lord Mountbatten. And who was the first Viceroy of independent India? Lord Mountbatten. Okay, and in the previous videos I have discussed that all these viceroys like and governor generals, like for example Hastings, Wellesley, Bentinck, Dalhousie, Canning, Lawrence, Lytton, Ripon, Curzon, Harding, and Irwin, they all have their writers who wrote for the British Empire, British East India Company, and for their works, for their administration process and policies, they wrote for their own people. So within their writing stuff, they only mention the dates and events that are directly related for the praising and uplifting of the British East India Company. So they don't wrote about Indian books and Indian culture, okay, or Indian people. Now, then a writer came from Scotland, and his name was James Mill. James Mill wrote a book, A History of British India, in which he divided his book into the three parts. Like, first one is the Hindu period, second is the Muslim period, and third is the British period. Okay, so in which he had in Hindu period he has discussed all the kingdoms who belongs to the Hindu religion, okay, like Rajputs, Chauhans, Thomas, okay. And in the Muslim he has wrote about the Mughal emperors, okay. And in the British book he has written about the British people, okay. So in all these three books he has written down the administration process of the social, economical, and political aspects of the kings or the emperors, that how they rule their administrative system, okay. So now let's move ahead. So now why do we try and divide history into different periods? We do so in an attempt to capture the characteristics of a time, its central features as they appear to us. So the terms through which we periodize, that is, demarcate the difference between periods, became important. They reflect our ideas about the past. They show how we see the significance of the change from one period to the next. So now, my dear students, can you tell me why do we divide history into parts or into periods? We do so in attempt to capture the characteristics of a टाइम, बिकॉज कि हमें एक समय पे क्या घटनाएं घटित हुई थी, क्या करेक्टरिस्टिक्स हुए थे, क्या प्रिंसिपल्स थे उस टाइम पे, क्या सिद्धांत थे, क्या कल्चर, क्या ट्रेडिशन, क्या बिलीफ था, लोगों की सोच कैसी थी, वो एक पर्टिकुलर समय पे, एक पर्टिकुलर सेंचुरी में, एक पर्टिकुलर जगह के बारे में हमें जानने को मिलता है. सपोज इफ वी विल डिस्कस ऑल दी हिस्ट्री टुगेदर, क्या कभी हमें समझ में आ पाएगा? नहीं ना. अगर सपोज करो कि मैं एक ही पीरियड में आपको पूरी 8th क्लास की हिस्ट्री समझा दूं, क्या आपको समझ में आएगा? नहीं ना. इन वन पीरियड ओनली व्हाट वी कैन डिस्कस इज व्हाट इज हिस्ट्री इज ऑल अबाउट. सिर्फ हम यही तो पढ़ सकते हैं ना बेटा कि हिस्ट्री है क्या. एग्जैक्टली दैट इज व्हाई वी डिवाइड हिस्ट्री इनटू पीरियड्स और पार्ट्स. की वी केम टू नो अबाउट दी different stories, we came to know about the different aspects, different characteristics, different principles of the people who belong to the that particular time. And the most important thing we came to know about is the events, कि उस समय पे क्या घटनाएं घटित हुई थी और वो घटनाएं किससे संबंधित थी, like to whom those events are directly related to. Okay, my dear students. Now they reflect our ideas about the past. So They reflect our ideas about the past. They show how we see the significance of the change from one period to the next and how we see the change from one period to the next कि भाई एक स्टोरी के बाद दूसरी स्टोरी कैसे होती है. ओके. Mill thought that all Asian societies were at lower level of civilization than Europe. According to his telling of history, before the British came to India, Hindu and Muslim despots ruled the country. Religious intolerance, caste taboos, and superstitious practices dominated in society. So I discussed this paragraph in the earlier video also. Like at that period of time, the ancient civilization was not developed and it was at lower level than Europe, and Europe was developed, beta. ठीक है. And in India, some parts Hindu rulers are ruling, and in some of the part Muslim rulers are ruling just before the people have. So now, and so Hindus were ruling in the other part and the Muslims were ruling in the another part, and we all know that the British East India Company came in the time of the Mughal Emperor in the Mughal Emperor times. Okay beta. So now at that period of time देर वर रिलीजियस इंटॉलरेंस के धर्म के आधार पे हमारे ज़मीन डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रखी थी, डिवाइड हो रखी थी, और हमारी सोसाइटीज़ में बहुत ज़्यादा जातियाँ थी, कास्ट थी, और सुपरस्टिशियस प्रैक्टिसेस जस्ट लाइक ये जादू टोना ये होता रहता था. ओके. सो ब्रिटिश रूल मिल फेल्ट could civilize India. To do this, it was necessary to introduce European manners, arts, institutions, and laws in India. Mill, in fact, suggested that the British should conquer all the territories in India to ensure the enlightenment and happiness of the Indian people, for India was not capable of progress without British help. Okay. So, now what Mill thought, बेटा मिल ने सोचा कि जो इंडियन पीपल हैं या फिर इंडिया है वो हमारे बिना, ब्रिटिशर्स के बिना प्रोग्रेस नहीं कर सकता, ब्रिटिशर्स के बिना डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो सकती. क्यों नहीं हो सकती? बिकॉज एट दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम द इंडियन पीपल वर नॉट सिविलाइज्ड, दे वर नॉट डेवलप्ड, एंड नाइदर दे वर सो एजुकेटेड दैट दे कैन थिंक ऑफ डेवलपमेंट और प्रोग्रेस इन देयर सोसाइटी. सो मिल थॉट दैट द ब्रिटिश शुड कॉन्कर ऑल द टेरिटरीज इन इंडिया. लाइक ब्रिटिशर्स ने भाई सभी टेरिटरी, सभी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी, सभी सिटीज, टाउन्स, विलेजेस के ऊपर अपना आधिपत्य स्थापित करना चाहिए और इंडिया के अपलिफ्टमेंट और एनलाइटमेंट के बारे में सोचना चाहिए. एक नई उम्मीद की किरण, एक नई आशा की किरण लोगों में जगानी चाहिए कि हम आपकी बेटरमेंट के लिए आए हैं, हम आपको अच्छी सुविधाएं, अच्छी डेवलपमेंट और अच्छी प्रोग्रेस देंगे, आपको आपके लिए एजुकेशन देंगे, आपके लिए रोजगार के दरवाजे खोलेंगे, और वी कैन यूज your own skills and creative ideas to make development and progress in your societies. Okay, my dear students. In this idea of history, British rule represented all the forces of the progress and civilization. The period before British rule was one of darkness. Can such a conception be accepted today? Now, in the idea of history, इतिहास के बारे में सोचा जाए कि British rule represent all the forces of progress and civilization. But this is the fact that today's, even in the present time also, we are using railways, and railways is invented by the Britishers people. Okay, now we are watching TV, we are using radios, we are reading newspapers, we are having education societies like schools, colleges, institutions, and all other and just like that civil services exams and administration system, our parliament, okay, our judiciary system, our fundamental rights, everything was given by the Britishers. Okay, just because at that period of time Britishers were educated, they were civilized, and they were more developed than Indians. So with their ideas and minds, they brought up development and progress the civilization in India. Okay, in many cases, can we refer to any period of history as Hindu or Muslim? Did not a variety of faiths exist simultaneously in these periods? Why should we characterize an age only through the religion of the rulers of the time. To do so is it to suggest that the lives and practices of others do not really matter. We should also remember that even rulers in ancient India did not all share the same faith. ओके बेटा, बट ज़्यादातर केसेस में क्या हुआ, स्पेशली हिंदू और मुस्लिम्स में, दे डिड नॉट हैव अ वैरायटी ऑफ फेथ्स एग्जिस्ट साइमल्टेनियसली इन दिस पीरियड्स. कि बेटा जो विश्वास था ना कि भाई चीज़ों को मानना है, समझना है और सोचना है, वो विचार एक जैसे लोगों के मिल ही नहीं रहे थे, बिकॉज हिंदूज कुछ और कह रहे थे और मुस्लिम्स कुछ और कह रहे थे. सो देयर वाज अ फीलिंग ऑफ disrespecting of every religion, and faiths were not coming up simultaneously. Okay, now why should we characterize an age only through the religion of the ruler of the time? कि भाई हमें एक एज को एक एम्परर की नज़र से क्यों देखना चाहिए? क्योंकि हम उस समय को भी तो देख सकते हैं ना कि भाई वो समय कैसा रहा होगा, उस समय पे क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज़ हुई होंगी, उस समय पे जो उस समाज में, उस सोसाइटीज़ में जो परंपराएं चली आ रही थी वो किसने शुरू की होंगी, क्या वो सोसाइटी के लिए सही थी या गलत थी. ओके, टू डू सो इज इट टू सजेस्ट दैट द लाइव्स एंड प्रैक्टिसेस ऑफ अदर्स डू नॉट रियली मैटर. क्या उन सब को सजेस्ट करने के लिए, उनको पढ़ने के लिए, क्या दूसरों की ज़िंदगी इतनी ज़्यादा मायने नहीं रखती है, और जो वो प्रैक्टिसेस करते हैं, एक्टिविटीज़ परफॉर्म करते हैं, वो क्या सही है? We should also remember that even rulers in ancient India did not all share the same faith. बेटा हमें ये भी याद रखना चाहिए कि एंशियंट इंडिया में जो पहले के राजा होते थे वो भी सब एक जैसा नहीं सोचते थे, उनकी भी सोच अलग थी, उनके भी काम करने का तरीका अलग था. सो वैसे ही जेम्स मिल ने भी पाया था कि यहाँ पे हिंदूज और मुस्लिम्स का राज्य करने का अलग अलग विचार है, अलग अलग सोच है, और वो अलग अलग एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस के साथ अलग अलग तरह से शासन करते हैं. ओके, नाउ so moving away from Britishers classification, historians have usually divided India history into ancient, medieval and modern. Okay, so now this is an important term for you. In these three categories our Indian history is divided. Okay, Indian history is divided into three parts. Okay, first is ancient history, second is the medieval history, and third is the modern history. In this ancient history beta we study Harappa civilization, Mohenjo-daro civilization, Greek, Egypt civilization. In the medieval period we study the Mauryan Empire, the Magad Empire, or the Mughal periods. Okay, like the great kingdoms of great emperors. Okay, and in the modern history we study the invention of Britishers, Portuguese, Spanish. Okay, and the time period of East India Company. Okay, my dear students, so this division too has its problem. It is a periodization that is borrowed from the West, where the forces of modernity, science, reason and democracy, liberty and equality. Okay, in modern history these factors plays an important role. In the modern history we study science, reasons, democracy means government, liberty means freedom and equality means आज़ादी और समानता का अधिकार. Okay, so medieval was a term used to describe a society where these features of modern society did not exist. And in a medieval period, like of the Mughal period, Mauryan Empire and the Magad Empire, okay, or the Gupta dynasty, Khilji dynasty. Okay, so such kind of dynasties came into the category of medieval history. Okay, as you will see in this book, under the British rule people did not have equality, freedom or liberty. We all know that beta when जो ब्रिटिश पीरियड था, ब्रिटिश पीरियड पे ना तो आज़ादी थी, ना ही समानता थी और ना ही लिबर्टी थी। ओके, सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्या था, उनका ही राज था, उनका ही एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन था, उनके ही रूल्स और रेगुलेशंस थे और उनके ही द्वारा बनाए गए कानून हम सबको मानने होते थे। नोर वाज द पीरियड वन ऑफ द इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ एंड प्रोग्रेस। ओके, और ये सबको पता है कि बेटा जो ये थे ना ब्रिटिशर्स थे, इन्होंने ही हमारे देश को बिल्कुल, जो हमारे देश का प्योर गोल्ड था, प्योर इकोनॉमी थी, वो सब कुछ इसने अपने देश में धीरे धीरे करके सारी की सारी अपने देश में ट्रांसफर कर दी थी। ओके, सो मैनी हिस्टोरियंस देयरफॉर रेफर टू दिस पीरियड एज colonial period. Okay, now we can say the period of British East India Company can also be called as the colonial period. Can also be called as the colonial period. Okay, so we will discuss it in the another video. I hope till here the concept is being clear to you. Like, let's take a small recap. Indian history is divided into three parts: ancient, medieval, and modern. Okay, now, okay, so let's, thank you.